Welcome back to Legion Builds, where I show you how to bring your favorite fictional characters into games of Dungeons & Dragons. If you like this build, please like and subscribe to our channels. We release weekly on YouTube, Spotify, and other major podcast platforms. Today we are building Ichigo Kurosaki, the main protagonist of the anime Bleach. Ichigo is a shinigami, a warrior of death who takes on monsters and otherworldly creatures to defend his friends and family. Ichigo has a wide assortment of abilities coming from his heritage and spiritual transformations. The goal of this build will be easy but also a little unique. Firstly, we need a furious warrior with a magic sword with tons of speed and strength. Next, not only does the sword need to be able to transform, but so do you. Anime has a weird habit of having their heroes capable of transforming multiple times. I don't get it myself. Finally, we need to make you not only capable of speaking to the dead, but banishing the dead as well, depending on how much they piss you off. We're using standard point array, roll for stats if you want to, keep minimums in mind as we are multi-classing. Strength will be first with a 15. You punch really hard and with little provocation, unless someone's disrespecting the living or dead, and then you have provocation and you hit even harder. Charisma will be next, as you're the protagonist of the entire series. Dex will be 13, as you are capable of some serious speed. Con will be middle of the road with a 12, you can take care of yourself, and you eat right. Your wisdom will be low with a 10, but you do have a serious impulse control problem, and we're dumping intelligence because your plans are generally hit it with no thought of what happens if that doesn't work. Ichigo is a human, but not completely. His mother was a Quincy, a human with spiritual powers, and his dad was a shinigami. To make matters worse, he is part hollow, a monstrous creature created from lost souls. Fallen Asamar is a half-celestial being that has become a terrifying creature of death and darkness. You get +2 to charisma and +1 to strength. You have dark vision, allowing you to see in darkness. Celestial resistance gives you resistance to necrotic and radiant damage. Healing hands lets you, as an action, heal a creature equal to your total character level once per long rest. Light Bearer gives you the light cantrip for some reason I don't understand. Necrotic Shroud will be your first transformation. At character level 3, as an action, you can transform into a being of death and terror once per long rest. Once per turn for 1 minute, you will deal extra necrotic damage equal to your character level. The second you transform, every creature within 10 feet must make a charisma save or become frightened of you to the end of your next turn. Volo's Guide to Monsters suggests that you grow skeletal wings that you can't use to fly and your eyes go black. I say reflavor this to have a skeletal mask grow over your face and become a hollow. For background, we need the skills Persuasion and Intimidation. We're starting off with Fighter. You have all proficiencies in weapons and armor. For skills, take Athletics and Perception. Level 1 fighters gain a fighting style. Unarmed fighting makes your unarmed strikes 1d8 plus your strength modifier when you're not holding anything, 1d6 when you are, and at the start of your turn you can deal 1d4 bludgeoning damage to a creature you're grappling. Second Wind lets you heal 1d8 plus your fighter level. Time to go Shinigami, jumping over to Warlock. Level 1 Warlocks gain an otherworldly patron. Hexblades are generally seen to be powered by death and darkness, and are warriors, so we're going with that. Hexblade's Curse lets you curse a target with a bonus action. For 1 minute, the target is cursed. You now deal bonus damage equal to your proficiency bonus, crit on 19s, and when the target dies, you regain hit points equal to your Warlock level plus charisma modifier. Hex Warrior gives you proficiency in all weapons and medium armor, which you already have. It also lets you bond with a weapon that doesn't have the two-handed properties, and you'll be able to use your charisma modifier with it. Heads up, not really going to be a big deal, as you will have a charisma modifier that matches your strength modifier. And to be honest, I wouldn't go with this anyway. You also gain Pact Magic. This makes you a somewhat spellcaster, but instead of a full-on spellcaster, you have limited spell slots. Eldritch Blast releases a blast of energy dealing 1d10 force damage on a hit. We're making this your obligatory slash that sends a blast through the air and hits your target several feet away. Except this will be a blast of 120 feet. Hope your enemies have fun trying to get away from you. As your character levels up, you'll get more blast, eventually attacking 4 times with one go. Sword Burst slashes at every enemy within 5 feet of you. On a failed dex save, the enemies take 1d6 force damage, and this will eventually upgrade to 4d6. Shield adds +5 to your AC as a reaction and automatically stops magic missile. Wrathful Smite infuses your sword with terrifying energy for 1 minute. I'm not being clever with that, that's actually what it does. As a bonus action, when you cast this spell, your sword deals an extra 1d6 psychic damage. Once hit, the creature must make a wisdom save or become frightened of you while you maintain this spell. They can use their action every turn to try and make the save again. Level 2 Warlocks gain Eldritch Invocations. These are magical changes to you that augment your abilities or grant you new ones. Armor of Shadows lets you cast Mage Armor without a spell slot, effectively turning it into a cantrip. Now for 8 hours, your AC is 13 plus your dex. That is just a 14 right now, but come on, you're wearing just cloth as armor. Agonizing Blast adds your Charisma modifier to your Eldritch Blast attacks. For your new spell, Cause Fear forces a Wisdom save on one target within 60 feet, frightening them on a failure. By the way, you are now character level 3, meaning you have gained your first transformation. Congratulations! Level 3 Warlocks gain Pact Boon. Pact to the Blade lets you create a magical weapon as an action. This weapon can take any shape or form. Congratulations, you have your Zanpakuto. You can dismiss the weapon and recreate a new one whenever you feel like it with an action, meaning it can be your standard Zanpakuto, your Shikai form, or your Bankai form. I'm partial to the Bankai forms myself. You also have now 2nd level spell slots. For your new spell, Blur makes it harder for your enemies to hit you, giving them disadvantage on attack rolls. Heads up, creatures with True Sight and Blind Sight aren't affected by this. Level 2 fighters gain Action Surge. You now have a 2nd free action once per short or long rest. Level 3 fighters gain their subclass. Battle Masters are combat experts. You receive 4 superiority dice that are d8s that you can add to your attacks to perform special maneuvers. Lunging attack adds the superiority dice to your damage roll and adds 5 feet to your weapon reach. Because for some odd reason, you think swinging a sword by a chain is a good idea. Evasive Footwork lets you add your superiority dice to your AC as long as you don't stop moving. Repose lets you use your reaction to attack a creature that misses you with a melee attack, adding the superiority dice to the attack damage. Fighter level 4 gains our first ability score improvement, and I guess it's better late than never. Place this into Dex for an AC of 15 with Mage Armor. Level 5 fighters gain extra attack. You can now attack twice with a single action or 4 times with Action Surge. Level 6 fighters gain another ability score improvement. Let's place this into strength to amp up your attacks. It's time to say goodbye to fighter and advance your shinigami abilities. From now on, we're just going to stick with Warlock. Level 4 Warlocks get an ability score improvement. Let's bring your con up to 14, and remember, health stacks retroactively. For your new spell, Misty Step will be yet another obligatory anime move, when you shunt forward so fast that even the guy who can see super speed doesn't see you. As a bonus action, you teleport 30 feet. Level 5 Warlocks receive a new invocation. Improved Pack Weapon adds +1 to your Zanpakuto's hit and damage, and turns it into your spellcasting focus. Your spell slots are also upgraded to 3rd level. For your spell, Shadow Blade creates a Blade of Darkness as a bonus action. This blade is light, finesse, and deals 2d8 psychic damage. You can dual wield this with your Zanpakuto, but remember, you can only dual wield light weapons unless you take the dual wield feat. But warning, this is a concentration spell, so you must maintain it. Level 6 Hexblade Warlocks gain a Cursed Spectre. This makes absolutely no sense. It's when you kill a creature, you can create a specter out of it that obeys you until you take another long rest. For your new spell, Fly gives you a flying speed of 60 feet for 10 minutes. Level 7 Warlocks receive a new invocation. Repelling Blast now pushes your targets back 10 feet when they're hit with your Eldritch Blast. Your spell slots are now 4th level. For your spell, Banishment shunts a creature away to a pocket dimension or their home dimension if they are not on the same plane of existence that they're from. They must make a Charisma save or be sent away, and you must maintain the spell for 1 minute. If it ends before 1 minute, they return to the spot you banished them from. Level 8 Warlocks get another ability score improvement. Place this in Charisma for better spell damage and spell DC. For your new spell, Banishing Smite causes your Zanpakuto to deal an extra 5d10 force damage with a bonus action. And if the target is reduced to 50 HP or less, they suffer the same effects as Banishment. The difference here is the wording suggests that if they are not from the plane of existence, they are automatically sent back. Level 9 Warlocks gain another invocation. Otherworldly Leap lets you cast Jump without a spell slot, tripling your jump distance for 1 minute. Your spell slots are also upgraded to 5th level. We're going to be replacing a spell here, so you're going to be getting 2 spells. Far Step is an upgraded form of Misty Step. Now you can use your concentration to maintain the spell, and you'll be shunting around with a bonus action 90 feet every turn. Staggering Smite deals an extra 4d6 psychic damage with a melee attack and forces a wisdom save. Should they fail, they have disadvantage on all attacks and skill checks till the end of the next turn. Level 10 Hexblade Warlocks receive Armor of Hexes. Now when a target of your Hexblade's curse hits you with an attack roll, you can use your reaction to roll a d6. On a 4 or higher, they miss. For your new spell, Branding Smite deals an extra 5d6 radiant damage with a bonus action, and the target begins to glow for 1 minute. In all honesty, unless they become invisible, maintaining this spell is worthless, so hit them, drop it, and then do something else. Level 11 Warlocks gain Mystic Arcanum. This is a free spell that is higher than the normal spells you get, and does not cost a spell slot to use. It's time for your next transformation. Tasha's Otherworldly Guise transforms you into a creature of the lower or upper planes. We're going to be going with lower for you. For 1 minute while you maintain this spell, you are immune to fire and poison damage, immune to poison condition, can fly 40 feet, and get an AC bonus of +2. You also get a couple other features that you already have because you are attacking with a magical weapon and you have extra attacks, so don't worry about it. You can also combine this with your first transformation, dealing extra necrotic damage on top of everything. For your new spell, take whatever you want. Go wild, you have everything I want to give you right now. Level 12 Warlocks received our final ability score improvement. Now you have some choices here. Place it into Dex for better AC, cap off your Strength, cap off your Charisma, or place it into Con for better health, up to you. Me personally, I'm going to place it into Con for better health and concentration saves. You're also going to get your final invocation. Whispers of the Grave lets you cast Speak with the Dead without using a spell slot. I know Ichigo has this like from Earth, but this is as best I can do. In all honesty, I don't want to take this. I would rather take Eldritch Mind and get advantage on a concentration saving throws. Or you can take Life Drinker to add extra necrotic damage to your Zanbakuto equal to your Charisma modifier. Level 13 Warlocks gain a new Mystic Arcanum. Plane Shift allows you and up to 8 creatures to travel to another plane of existence, like the Soul Society. For your new spell, once more, go wild, you have everything you need. Our final level is level 14 Warlock and Hexblades gain Master of Hexes. Now when your Hexblade curse dies, instead of regaining HP, you can move the curse to a new target within 30 feet. Okay, it is time to dive in and look at this build. You truly are a god of death. In your standard form, you're dealing with a normal katana 1d8 magical damage. You can add a d8 to it without magic for 2 to 4 attacks. With magic, you're adding anywhere between a single d6 to 5d10 and different damage types. In your hollow form, you're adding 20 necrotic damage. You can also hit at ranged 4 times, dealing 1d10 force damage and pushing back. You're also really hard to hit. Your AC is +5 with shield, +2 in your final form. Blur and Armor of Hexes both make it harder for your enemies to hit you. You can also teleport up to 90 feet and fly up to 60 feet. Downside: you only have 3 spell slots and 4 superiority dice. Average spellcasters burn through that in 1 combat. You're also only bringing d8s to health for around 160, but that's also because you had 5 levels in Fighter. You also have the Curse of the Spellcaster. A majority of your spells are concentration. Flight, Shadow Blade, and all of your smites. You're going to have to choose which one to use at any given point. In the end, you are the heavy hitter of the team. Trust your healer, the tank, and the ranged fighter to back you up. Thank you for joining me today. If you enjoyed this build, please like and subscribe to see more awesome characters be brought into Dungeons & Dragons. We release weekly, and over on Patreon we hold weekly polls to decide our build releases.